Well, hello there, Virgo. How are you? It is so good to see you again. I'm Mary Sue, and I'm so grateful that you're here. So today we are going to be doing your June 2024 General Tarot reading. So let's get into it. Let's see what's on the horizon for you. Bobcat Spirit, life is a mystery. Mystic Healer, healing energy flows through you. And creativity, seize the day. That's exactly the energy that I got when I saw this very first card. Bobcat Spirit, life is a mystery. There's a synchronicity, something divinely guided that is coming onto your path, okay? And it could be, this is the number 8. So, what we put out, we get back in. That energy that you have been putting out, your loving energy, your gifts, your talents, but maybe you haven't felt like it's coming back to you yet, right? And there's either like an epiphany, an idea, or a person, a relationship, invitation, something that is coming onto your path that really and truly is kind of like the missing link to having the success that you have been looking for. And you have the Mystic Healer, healing energy flows through you. So for some of you, if this is kind of like a physical, like an energy around or a situation around your health, okay? This is kind of like maybe you've been trying to do a lot of healing, taking time out, working on yourself, doing that healing. But it's kind of like, and I'm not saying you haven't made progress, but this is like something that shows up on your YouTube feed, right? Or a show that you see on TV, or you run into somebody that has a doctor for you, or has heard about this new procedure or whatever it is, right? All of a sudden it's kind of like, oh my gosh, like there's a new idea, something that you didn't know about before. If it's a business thing, right? You've been putting a lot of time and energy and love into your work, but you're not necessarily getting the feedback, the abundance that you have been wanting. All of a sudden, it's kind of like you have a new idea that allows you to kind of like take it to the next level. There's just this energy that this is the missing link. If you feel like there's just something that, it's kind of like and I feel like that right now. It's kind of like, have you ever been kind of like talking to somebody and then it's kind of like, oh, that word is right on the end of my tongue, right? It's kind of like you're trying to pull in a word or a name or something like that. And it's kind of like, it's right on the end of my tongue. It's that type of energy. It's kind of like, if I just had like one tidbit more of information or an idea or something, this would totally change around. And that's exactly the energy I'm getting here. Yeah, it's helping you to drop all the burdens of this situation. It's kind of interesting because it's like, say you had a YouTube channel. Okay, you have a YouTube channel, right? And you launched, let's say you launched 6 months ago, okay? And you're having trouble getting subscribers or whatever. And then all of a sudden, you're on YouTube one day watching some videos of whatever. And then all of a sudden in your feed, okay, there's some type of a video about how to get more subscribers, right? And you're kind of like, what? I've tried everything, I've tried being charismatic. I've tried trying to figure out the algorithm. What do they know? I've tried it all. You could be in that energy. And then all of a sudden you click on that video and there's something that you didn't know about how to connect into the algorithm or how to attract people or the benefit of doing something on the thumbnail or whatever it is, right? And it's kind of like, really? I didn't know that. And then you go and try it and all of a sudden, right, your channel starts taking off. It's that kind of energy where you find out a new piece of information. They keep saying like it's right on the tip of your tongue, but I don't think it's literally on the tip of your tongue. I feel like this opportunity, this information is like right here. And it's kind of like you almost know that it's right there. You just can't, you can't put your handle, you can't put your hands on it, right? You can't grasp it. So, okay, so let's take a look at what we have here. We have the Queen of Swords and kindred partnership. It's seeing clearly about how to connect to other people. Really interesting, because I was using that YouTube analogy. Okay, so this is a little bit about, I feel like what you're missing, something that you're missing in this situation. I really feel like it's kind of like career based. It doesn't have to be, but it does have that energy. It's about understanding how to truly connect to other people. You're missing, that's the missing link. The link is the thing that connects you to your audience or to whoever you're trying to perhaps sell your product or your idea, or the people that you're wanting to work with or connect with. For some of you, maybe you have been working on your own thinking, oh, I know the right way, but what you're missing is collaborating with other people. For others of you, it could be beneficial if you allow yourself to network with other people that are doing similar things, or getting some type of feedback from other people. So for instance, like if you were trying to put out a website and you had some kind of like, maybe you're trying to sell a product and you have a website and you're trying to market yourself, right? It's about asking people their feedback. And I feel like there's almost like this energy of, no, I don't want to know what other people think. I know what I want. And I'm not saying that you don't, Virgo, okay? But it's kind of like there's something here where you're not allowing other people in to whatever you're trying to put out there, because you're a little fearful of what people might say. You're a little fearful of perhaps people being critical of what you're trying to put out there, or rejecting it or something like that, right? Yeah, so you're just having to... And this is actually going to bring you so much love and balance and just joy in your life, okay? But the problem is that I feel as if you're not getting the response that you want. It's, once again, like you put the YouTube channel out and you're not getting that many views. You're not getting that many subscribers. It's about allowing yourself to see a different perspective of why other people aren't connecting to what it is that you are putting out there. And I feel like part of it is kind of like getting some feedback. I don't know, they're saying beta. I don't know what that means. I think it has something to do with like, if you're putting out like an app or something, you might have some people that are part of a beta program or something where they test it and they give you feedback before you actually put it out to the world or something like that. I'm not sure. So let's see what your obstacle is. Yeah, I feel like you're sticking to your plan. You need to tweak your plan a little bit. Okay, Virgo, it doesn't mean you're starting over. It doesn't mean that you're on the wrong track. I feel like you're on the right track, but you're kind of like wanting complete control, okay? You're wanting complete control, but the problem is that by having complete control of whatever this is, right? So you could be getting some feedback, okay? But you're kind of like, well, that's not what I wanted to hear. Or maybe you are asking for some feedback and the feedback that you're getting is kind of like, well, I wish, say it's a website, I wish your colors were a little brighter or something like that. And it's kind of like, no, it doesn't matter. The colors don't matter. Well, if that's the feedback you're getting, perhaps the colors do matter, right? It's understanding that I feel like you're trying to I think this is something that's really important to you, right? And therefore you're trying to protect it, and by protecting it, you're over controlling it instead of allowing yourself to perhaps get, Okay, so there's other options. See, you have the devil. This is your obstacle. You have the devil, your self-doubts, and then the sense of competition, right? Of not wanting to be thrown in the arena of perhaps being rejected or abandoned or whatever that is. But because of that, you're trying to stay a little bit too narrow to what your plan is, okay? But this doesn't have any heart in it. And that's what this is all about. It's about how can you better connect to the audience or whoever you're trying to connect to here. Once again, I feel like this is a career, something career. So it's kind of like, how can you better connect to the audience? You're seeing it in one way, but it's almost as if you don't want to see it in another way. But that's why you're not connecting to. It's not that your idea is bad. It's kind of like if you had the website and it was all pale colors, right? And you're just having a hard time connecting, getting people to click on your website or to buy or something like that. And then somebody says to you, well, I would be more engaged with your website if it had more contrasting colors, if it was brighter or something like that. And you're like, no, the colors don't matter. Colors don't matter. I like these colors. I'm sticking with these colors. And the person like says, oh, okay, well, okay, yeah, it's your website. Okay, do what you want. But it's kind of like, okay, what happens if you did change the colors, right? If you did change the colors, right? I think part of you is kind of like, but those aren't the colors I want, okay? But do the colors really and truly change the product? Let's put it that way, right? The colors of the website. Does it really change the product or what you're putting out there? No, but it does change the engagement. It does help to connect to a larger audience. And I'm sure it doesn't really have anything to do with colors, Virgo, okay? It's kind of like allowing yourself to see some other options. You're having your focus is way too narrow. And I think the reason is because this is just such, whatever this is, it's like a project that is like so near and dear to your heart. So you're wanting it to be a certain way. But the problem is that you need to expand the idea a little bit in order to connect with the people that really and truly do want what you are selling, okay? Because you have family, friends, and guides, and then you have the moon, right? It's almost like, the moon represents our hidden fears, right? What we're afraid of. And perhaps, kind of like afraid of what people, especially people that we really truly love, you may be hiding it. It's kind of like I wrote this book one time and then I was afraid to share it with anybody in my family, right? Because it was kind of like, well, it was so near and dear to my heart. And I thought, well, if I had them read it and give me their feedback, it was kind of like, well, I don't want them to really come back with a red pen everywhere and telling me what was so bad about my book, right? But it's kind of like understanding that when we're not allowing ourselves to see how other people are seeing it, does not mean you have to change it, Virgo. Okay, let me put it that way. You do not have to change it, but opening your mind to seeing how other people are seeing this is going to help you to reach the audience that you are truly wanting to reach. Yeah, this has been a long time. Yeah, you're working with people. Look, and then the wheel turns for you. The problem is that this has been a long time. You're very concerned. What are other people going to want? Are they going to want to move away from me when they discover what I'm putting out there, or they know how near and dear this is to my heart? But when you allow yourself to work with other people, right? Whether that is other business people or whether this is connecting to people that can help give you feedback to what you're working on, it's kind of like, oh my goodness, your happiness, your abundance, your joy, your sense of fulfillment comes in. It's almost as if you're just kind of like having a hard time finding this missing link. And it is really and truly because we're all like that. When we create something, it's a part of us. And we feel like if someone criticizes or gives us a critique of something that we've created, that it means they don't like us. But that's not true. I think this is an energy of asking for feedback. It's right. There's a difference. There's a difference. All right, let's pull a soul truth card for you for some final advice. And Virgo, I do personal readings. So if you're interested, the link is in the description box below. I'd really be honored to do a reading for you. What am I most afraid of losing? Yes. I think that's it. You're kind of either afraid, kind of like I was with my book, afraid of losing the respect, the love, right, of people that are near and dear to us. I think also you're afraid of asking for feedback because it's kind of like you also want this to be successful, but there's also an energy of understanding that if it becomes successful, then it really is, it goes bigger, right? And then there could be more people that would critique it, right? It's kind of like, well, if I keep myself small and I only share it with this small group of people, then only that number of people can critique me. Okay, but if I go bigger, right, then I'm opening myself up to more people critiquing me. But it's kind of like allowing yourself to love what it is that you're doing, to putting it out with a loving energy instead of trying to protect it from negativity, right? And yes, we want to protect ourselves from negativity, but having true feedback can be very valuable. And I feel like that's what you may need in this situation. It may mean that you want to hire, somebody that helps you with the website or a branding or something like that. Perhaps you're trying to do it all yourself. And maybe it is time to allow yourself to let somebody else in to see what you're working on so that they can help you. To make it so that it is perhaps a little bit more connecting to your audience. It's a little bit kind of like if you were publishing a book and you wanted to do everything yourself. You're self-publishing it. So, you buy the software and you design your own book cover and everything like that. And it sells, but it doesn't sell great, right? And then you go to a professional that says, well, your book cover would do better. It would entice more people in if you had a picture of a real person on the cover instead of a cartoon person or something like that. And you're kind of like, yeah, but really, I like the cartoon person. And they're like, well, we can give it a try, right? And then you put a picture of real people on it and all of a sudden your book takes off, right? But part of you, I think, doesn't want the book to take off because if the book takes off, that means that there might be more people that would critique it. Really kind of interesting. It's kind of like you're holding yourself back. And it's just kind of like allowing yourself to say, wait a minute, I love this. I want to share it with the world. Even if it does mean there is some negative comment, I guarantee you, Virgo, there's not going to be nearly the negativity that you're thinking about. This is highly successful, okay? But it's kind of like your fears of what people may say about it are preventing you from actually putting it out there and enjoying the success that will come from it. Wow, incredible. Yeah, I mean, I can relate to it totally. I have a Virgo North node, so I can totally relate to this. All right, as we grow, change, and transform our lives, it requires us to let go of something that was to make room for what will be. If you were able to take the big leap today, would you feel scared of losing love, safety, or belonging? What if it was a big fat lie? What if it was impossible to lose any of those things because you have the power to give yourself everything you need? Yeah. I mean, beautiful energy. Like perhaps asking yourself, what is your greatest fear in this situation? And then understanding whatever that is, you can give it to yourself, right? I mean, whatever you're afraid of losing out there, the credibility or whatever it is, right? Being rejected by strangers, right? It's kind of like, okay, wait a minute. I can give myself that sense of acceptance, of accomplishment, of love, of acknowledgement. You can give that to yourself. You don't have to have it come from other people. All right. All right, Virgo, I'm going to leave it there. I love you so much. Thank you so much for all of your support by liking, commenting, and subscribing. And I hope to see you again really soon. Bye for now.